Hi you guys, it's Ruby from Oofy Scraps, and I am back with part 2 in my Coachella album series. So this is going to be the first part of the actual crafting process of the album. So if you didn't see the first video, I will link it down below or up in the cards. But I just went through the entire album, cut down my photos, organized my photos chronologically, and just got things sort of figured out for the rest of the album so that when I came back to actually do the crafting part, everything was ready to go, and it took a few of the thinking notes out of it for me. So I'm starting off on the very first page of my Citrus Twist Life Crafted album. I'm using a full page photo, so it's about 4x8. And this is just a photo I took while I was driving on my way to Coachella. So I live in San Diego, California, and Coachella is in the Palm Springs area. So it's about 2-ish hours, like 2.5 hours northeast of San Diego. So my group was camping, and basically my group was me, my boyfriend, and my best friend Olivia. And then Olivia brought a friend, and my brother ended up coming and staying with us. And then we were also staying with a larger group of people, which was about like 6 other groups. So 2 to 4 people in each of those groups. And we were all going to camp together. So at Coachella, you can car camp, or you can tent camp, or you can stay in an Airbnb. And we car camped. So you drive in with your car, and then some people sleep in their cars, some people sleep in tents outside of their cars, and our group had a combination of both of those. So my other brother was kind enough to let me borrow his Sprinter van. So he has a large like Sprinter van, and he let me take that with me, and he has it set up so that there's a bed inside and a little mini fridge inside, and it's very well equipped for camping, kind of like glamping. So I was able to take that. And originally, Steven was supposed to drive with me, but because he couldn't get off work in time, he had to come down later with my brother. So I drove in the van on my own to meet up with my friends, and then we all caravanned in. So I'm already past the first page now from all my blabbing, but I basically just use a simple stories die cut that said, like, let's go or let's get away or something, and stuck that down right onto the photo. And then I also added a couple of little sentiment flags from a previous Allie Edwards travel collection. So now I'm on the next page, and this is the first day of the festival. This is a funny photo I took of Steven in his like tie-dye crazy outfit that I put together for him. And I'm using another die cut from that same Simple Stories pack that just says Weekend Vibes, and it's orange and has florals, and it felt very on theme for the weekend. So I stuck that right on top of the photo, and I love that these large photos allow for such a big impact with such minimal effort. So I went ahead and did that. And then I have this super cute Simple Stories again. I have a lot of Simple Stories stuff apparently in this album so far. It's just a bright pink smiley face card, and I wrote around it with just a black ink pen. It says, Day 1, here we come. So excited to be back at Coachella. So Coachella didn't happen for the last 2 years because of the pandemic, and I had gone the 2 previous years to Coachella, so it was exciting to be back. On the back of that 3x4 card, I put a photo of my nails. My brother's fiance did really fun Coachella-themed nails on me, and I was really excited to have those done. So I took that photo before I left for the trip, and I went ahead and used Canva to add the text right onto the photo. So I love using Canva, and it's something I use a lot. And then I added those 2 3x4 cards onto a little like attacher sticker from the Allie Edwards December Daily Collection, and I just covered it in washi tape so it'd be more colorful. And I do that a couple more times in the album. Next, I have my wristband from the weekend. So like many music festivals, Coachella gives you this fabric wristband. The color and pattern changes each year, and I think it's a really cool physical piece of ephemera to save. And I love using the Citrus Twist 4x6 and 2x4 pocket page to fuse in my wristbands. I did the exact same thing for my Outside Lands trip, which I can also link in the cards for you guys. But yeah, I used my fuse tool. I stuck the wristband in there and then a bunch of sequins that were in coordinating color. Some of them are from Rachel Talman Co. And then some of them are from Michael's and just random collection. And so I was able to cut my wristband off carefully and keep its integrity. But yeah, and then I fused that in there, and on top I'm using a photo of my two brothers. So I actually didn't see, on the left is Bo and on the right is Wes. Their heads are cut off right now, so it's not even that helpful for you guys, but I got this photo from them, and I actually wasn't even with them when this photo was taken. I had them send it to me. I think a friend of theirs took it for them because I didn't end up seeing Bo at all the first day. So Wes camped with us. Wes is on the right again. And then Bo camped, or he didn't camp. Bo stayed in an Airbnb with other friends. So Bo was on a very different schedule from us because he had to Uber in to the festival and then Uber out of the festival. So he had to like kind of think of his timing more than we did, whereas we could just roll out of bed and walk over. So I didn't end up seeing him the first day. But this photo was taken of the two of them, and I talked about this a little bit in my prep video, but I definitely wanted to include photos from the two of them throughout the weekend, not only just to get photos of them into my album, but I also just wanted to get their stories and perspectives. And, you know, the festival is huge and there's so much going on every day, all day long. So 3 different people can have 3 very different experiences. So I wanted to include this photo. So I was happy to have it. I just used some puffy gold letters to spell out bros, and then I put this little Simple Stories Again weekend die cut, and then I went ahead and added a couple of gold stars with just my little glue pen. So I'm off to a good start on the album already. I'm really excited about this one. Travel albums, again, are my absolute favorite, and I got some really, really awesome photos from this weekend that I really love. Also, obviously, like Coachella and music festivals are always colorful and fun, and everyone's wearing cool outfits, so it made me even more excited to document it. And I think I'm really letting my photos do most of the talking and be kind of center stage over the crafty bits, which in the past I have been someone who goes overboard with the crafty, which is awesome and fun, but I'm really trying to let the photos do the talking. So the next 2 pages are photos of Steven and I. They're very similar, but one of them, my mouth is closed, and the other, my mouth is open, or I'm smiling with my teeth showing. And I couldn't decide which one I liked, so I decided to do a full page or a 2-page spread. So the back half of the sequin pocket that I made with the wristband is showing on the left side, and then I'm doing a similar kind of washi tape with 2 little phrase die cuts. It says best day ever and weekend vibes. And then I will go ahead and add some more gold stars just glued right onto that area. And that's all I do on the first photo. And then I leave the second photo completely blank, but I do fill up the 2x4 pocket that I did, and I fuse it up. I really like using this page protector size from Citrus Twist. I think it's really fun and it's just different. You know, a 2x4 pocket is so small, but it also lends itself really well to like a shaker. It lends itself really well to some journaling or like a business card type of ephemera. So I wanted to do something that coordinated with the other shaker pocket but wasn't exactly the same. So I went ahead and grabbed a couple of these acetate butterflies I had from a past Ali Edwards travel kit, and I paired that with some fun little Fimo charms. It's like a confetti and it has smiley faces in it. And then I added a few other kinds of sequins. And of course, all of this is happening just off of screen so you guys can't see it. But here we go. I'm coming back on screen a little bit. I tend to move around a lot, especially when I'm doing kind of these more involved processes like the shaker pockets, but I'm using my handy dandy Lush tin as my little mat. I still don't have like a heat safe mat that I can use, but this is always beside my desk because I keep all my nail polishes inside of this like metal tin, and it's just really accessible and it works, so that's what I do. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this little shaker turned out. I think that they look good together, but they both have their own kind of unique thing going on. So I always seal it on both sides to make sure that it's very well secured. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure the photos are in there well, and we will work on the next 2 pages. So on the left, I have a photo from my brother. Again, I wanted to share photos from their portion of the trip and just like their perspective. So I was happy to be able to add that fun little photo of him. And then I've done this a couple times throughout the album where I'm doing a 3x4 photo or card, and instead of putting it in a page protector, I'm putting it on its own in the album. So I did this in the beginning with the nails photo, but this is a photo of me with my food. This is the first thing I ate at Coachella. Again, one of my favorite experiences of music festivals in general, but especially Coachella, is all of the fun food that you can eat. So I am a vegetarian. Well, I guess I'm a pescatarian. I eat fish every now and then. But I really like Asian food, and bao buns are like these super soft bread sandwichy type things. And then there's also steamed buns, and they look so good, but they always have meat in them, so I can't get them. But at the Indio market, I saw that they had veggie steamed buns, so I had to get them. And there's that photo of me on the bottom left. You can't really... There you go, you can see it now. But it's just a photo of me and my bao buns, and I put yum, yum, yum written around it. I did that on Canva, so it was a digital element that I decided to add on. I really enjoy mixing in a little bit of simple digital elements. I think it's really fun, and I've enjoyed the process. So I took a bit of this cool, groovy transparency. It's from an Obed Marshall collection. It might be Fantastico, I don't remember. But I cut a little strip of that and made my own, like, 3-hole punch add-on thingy. I don't know what you would call that. But that way I could add it to the album, and it's only on the bottom portion of the rings instead of the full album rings. And it can flip kind of independently of anything else. I used my other page protector as a little, like, guide for myself, and it was really easy. And I think it's a fun way of just creating a variety of tactile experiences, if you will, within your album. And I think using transparency is a really effective way of doing it, because it works like how the regular page protectors work, but it adds a little bit of fun. I also did the same thing with paper, and instead of doing a 3-hole punch, I did just the 2 holes of the innermost rings from the top and bottom collection, if that makes sense. Getting really technical here. But I did that with pattern paper, and I think it looks cute, but I like the transparency better. And then it was only single-sided paper, so I'm covering the other side of the paper with some washi tape that coordinates somewhat, and then I'll punch holes back through that. So I'm doing that right now, just slightly out of frame, of course, you know. And then I'll use my hole puncher to just punch those holes. But yeah, so I have my little bao bun photo, and then I have a couple of cards from an In a Creative Bubble digital kit that has a bunch of different cards related to food and eating and snacking, and it's perfect for this album because I did a lot of that throughout my trip. And one of the little cards had something to do with bao buns. I forget what it says, but we'll see it in a second here. And so I was super excited to use that on this little portion of the album. Okay, and I went ahead and skipped more of the out of screen part because we did not need to watch that. But you can see here it says dim sum time, and it's like little steam buns, and they're so cute. And there's room on the bottom for journaling. So the little restaurant that my bao buns were from was called All Dat Dim Sum, like dat, like D-A-T. And so I thought this card was perfect. It says dim sum on it. The name of the place is dim sum. It's got my little steamed buns. It's perfect. So I went ahead and did some journaling right on the card. I've been doing a lot of typed journaling in this album and just in general. I really like the way it looks, and I also like that I can fit a lot of text in a small area because I do have pretty large handwriting, but I also like it because I'm not obsessed with my handwriting all the time. I think it can get a little messy, and mostly that it's just inconsistent. It doesn't look like a consistent handwriting like some people's do, but I'm trying to push myself to put my real handwriting in albums because I think it does add a super personal touch. And I think that the more I do it, the more like almost practice, which sounds weird because I've been writing since I was a little kid, but the practice of writing in a pretty way, I guess. And also the practice of getting used to what my handwriting looks like almost. So I went ahead and did that. And then on the other side, I used another In a Creative Bubble card. I will try and link those collections below if I can remember. They're really, really awesome. And I don't print them at home because my printer doesn't do the colors justice. I get them printed at FedEx randomly, and I do it on their like high quality presentation paper, and it comes out really good. So this one says yummy, and I write about the other photo, which is from the Lay's experience. So at Coachella, a lot of brands do like branded pop-ups and booths and storefronts. So Lay's was premiering apparently unreleased flavors, but I've heard from other people that those flavors have been released, so we got bamboozled. But you got to go into this crazy like dome that was really cool and like decorated really crazy. It kind of felt like you were in another world. And it was the Lay's experience. So you got to taste 3 different kinds of chips, and we had, the flavors were dill pickle, potato, like loaded baked potato, and then truffle. Normally, I'm such a truffle girl, but these truffle chips were not my favorite. My boyfriend, Steven, though, loved the truffle. The baked potato was kind of a flop all around, and I loved the dill pickle. So if you see dill pickle Lay's and you're into pickles, pick them up. They're super good. So anyways, I did all that, and we're on to the next spread already. This one is 3 photos of me on day 1 in my little outfit. So of course, Coachella, you have to have fun outfits. I think it's super fun. Maybe one of the favorite parts for me, which might sound a little vain, but I think it's really fun. And I have a lot of like fun clothing that I don't get to wear very often. So it's exciting to have a chance to wear it. So day 1, I wore this like tie-dye little top and these cool, they're called paper bag shorts, but basically they're just like shorts that intentionally look like loose at the top. I don't really know how to explain it. But anyways, I did my hair in 2 buns with cute little fuzzy scrunchies. It was a fun thing. Some sunglasses. I loved it. And so I had some photos of me just in front of the big empty festival field. And I went ahead and did kind of like a grid with 2 3x4 card pockets. And I took these suns from an Ali Edwards kit and just sprinkled them all across. And then I used a sun card from a different Ali Edwards kit. And I thought it was super cute. It was a very sunshiny photo, and I thought it was a fun way of like tying the photos together, using these embellishments, but also keeping it pretty simple. So I put the suns on different spots on each photo, and the photos are all really similar, but just a little bit different. So it feels like, I don't know, one cohesive thing. And then I'm using my little Dymo label maker with some pinkish tape, and I put day 1 fit for my day 1 outfit. And I really liked this. I think it was a fun, really simple, but a very fun little layout. Okay, so I went ahead and skipped ahead because it was pretty redundant watching me type all that out. But I printed it and then cut it down into 3 separate words. So it says day 1 fit, and trimmed it with my scissors and stuck it right on the card. I think this pink worked perfectly with the little journaling card or whatever. I guess it's not really a journaling card. And then I'm just sticking down the last little sunshine. I guess it's the biggest one. It's not a little sunshine. A couple of them had words, a couple of them were blank. And I like it because they're not perfect circles. They're like slightly wonky. And I think it's just a cute organic touch. I also have been kind of hoarding these because I really liked them. So I'm glad I got to put them to good use, keep them all together as a little family of sunshines. And then whenever I have something puffy, I feel like I need to put a staple through it. So I took my tiny attacher, I put 1 staple through the ones with words, and then I did a little X of the staples on the ones that didn't have words. And I think it just adds a little texture, makes the puffy look extra puffy because it's being like squished down. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's a habit I've created and I just can't be stopped. So we're nearing the end here. I don't know if I do anything else before we sign off. The next page I wanted to work on, but I didn't have the right paper. So I'm just going to give you guys a little flip through of what we got done today. I'm super excited about it. Oh, I'm adding stars, adding some tiny gold stars. I think I add them to a couple pages, maybe. We'll see together. But I really like what we got done today. This is super fun so far. I really like this album. I just love all the super colorful photos and being able to use a lot of my really fun, colorful embellishments and things from my stash. And I do love working from a cohesive collection, but also going through and kind of curating my own collection from my stash has been a super exciting little challenge, and I think it's come together really well. My dogs are barking a little bit. Hope you can't hear it, but we're just going to push through the last few seconds here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one for the next part of our little process. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.